The goal is for you and your family to be set financially so that you can work on your terms.
As someone who's highly successful in private practice, what's the best financial advice you received?
Yeah, I learned a lot of different advice from a lot of different people. You can't lean into being, oh, I'm just a physician when it comes to money. You have to learn it. And you don't have to learn it to the highest level of finance, but you have to control your money. You can't let money control you. It's to get to a point of independence where you can practice medicine at the highest level, independent of financial pressures. So I have learned to get control in chaos, right? So I learned to take my paycheck and vector money towards directions that can help me attain my career and personal goals.
That's great. So how do you usually divide your paychecks?
Yeah, I learned that the process of gaining wealth, it's not you buy this one stock and all of a sudden you're a multimillionaire. It's slow, deliberate, careful actions. And you have to take slow, deliberate risks. So I take my paycheck and I know what my monthly burn rate is. I know how much is going to go towards my expenses, everything that to maintain my current costs, property tax, all of this stuff. And a set amount goes towards that. Everything else at the end of the month, I zero balance budget, goes to the brokerage account. And it either sits, if I'm looking at a real estate property I want to invest in, I'll put it in a money market that right now is collecting around 4%. I typically put it in the municipal bond index funds because those are tax free. But if I'm looking for an investment, otherwise I put it towards S&P 500 or single stocks, and I concentrate risk on, if I'm going to play the game of stocks, that's a high beta or high standard deviation investment, I pick a few, right? But it took years and years of this before I could even see any traction. And so after almost a decade plus of doing this, now I can see the point of this is why I put my head down. Otherwise, I wanted the luxury items just like everyone else, but delaying that gratification and focusing on building something bigger has paid off, but it takes a lot of time.
I think people say discipline is one of the most important things, and you just have to compound your wealth and be disciplined about your approach. So you're a perfect example of that. I think you become the chief medical officer just 8 years after finishing fellowship. So what are the most important lessons you learned along the way?
Always try new things, always think, always be creative. I've had the fortunate circumstance to have amazing opportunities present themselves, and it's very easy to crawl back and say, oh, I'm used to doing this. And I've learned to really lean into taking risk. I had no idea what this role was going to be. And sometimes you just have to jump with both feet. So I think that's been a big lesson for me, is just to try new things, learn. If it feels weird at first, you probably need to lean in even more and lean into that discomfort.
That's really inspiring too for all the early career radiologists to try to get out of the comfort zone and be the best of themselves. How did you learn your leadership skills?
A lot of it was watching people that I admired as role models through residency, through private practice. When you make a mistake, somebody pulls you aside, and I've had mentors myself that have pulled me aside, hey, this would have been a better way. Maybe think about responding differently. And as you do that more and more, I always found more interesting situations and interesting conflicting or just interesting situations where somebody has to step up and make a tough decision. I'll bring people together. And I learned to be that person, because it really can impact change better when somebody steps up and takes on the kind of uncomfortable circumstance of bringing everyone together.
Yeah, I love that. You also pursue the MBA. What are the biggest challenges and the benefits for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. For MBA, I mean, it's a big time commitment. You're going back to school. I was in private practice. I just wanted to learn more. I was more curious. I was sitting through meetings with, either hospital executives or just in different committees. And I felt like I wasn't versed in the finance and the business side of things. So I took a plunge. I said, let me find a way to get ahead of this. And it was a 3-year curriculum. Time was the biggest hardship. Money is one thing, but time is it's something you don't get back, right? So that was one of the big trade-offs. I am ever so thankful I worked through it. I had a great curriculum, and I've been able to really lean on that in this role. and to learn how to think like a business person, which is the biggest skill.
Before I let you go, I have one last question for you. If you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I really think just enjoying the process is something I'm learning now. Finally, is that we're in this process, and enjoy where you are in each moment in time. Residency, internship, in your first junior years as an attending, as faculty. As you kind of get more experience, and then even when you're trying to figure out what you want to be when you grow up, just enjoy it and smile is something I tell myself. And the other thing, and I'm learning the value now, is go meet people. And so branch out, meet people, have conversations, hear people's challenges, give advice, seek advice, have the conversations. It makes work and life so much more interesting when you just drop your guard and get out there a little bit. So that's something I would have told myself, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I love that. I actually talked to a sport coach the other day, and they were like, when they have the kids doing sports, it's more like building characters, enjoy the process, not for the quick wins, but to have them have the resilience and the persistence and go through the world. And I think you actually just said that.